Chapter 967 of One Piece is out. It is out early, and just as every single chapter of this Oden flashback, there is a lot to unpack. We've got an amazing cast of characters, and we are finishing the Roger portion of this with a bang. Now, I'm assuming that, that's assuming that the next chapter we go back to Wano and we follow the last days of Kazuki Oden. We start this chapter having fallen from Skypiea, thanks to the help of God Fall, and we are on our way to Water 7. Buggy and Shanks are fighting over the North and South Pole, which is broken up by Rayleigh, which if you go back to chapter 19, all those many, many, many years ago, 22 years ago, you'll see that that is how Buggy's flashback starts. Right before he eats his devil fruit, he's arguing with Shanks over the North and South Pole, and it is broken up by Rayleigh, which is a nice callback there, which for me confirms that Buggy has not had his devil fruit this entire flashback. And that somewhere over the course of this chapter, unshown to us, Buggy has eaten the Bara Bara no Mi. We go from there to Water 7, and we are reunited with Tom, and surprisingly enough, Frankie, who met Gold Roger and Oden. He talks about how he was abandoned by pirates, which is something that we knew. We know that Frankie's parents were pirates and that they ditched him. So it's a good callback. Hopefully, at some point we'll learn out who his family is. Maybe we'll learn out who everybody's family is. Zoro's, Nami's, Brooks. There's a lot still to know, but that's not what this chapter's about. Roger wants to know about the sea train. It's not complete yet, and just a little pit stop on their way to Fishman Island, because as with Robin, when she found the Poneglyph on Skypiea, she knew that the ancient weapon Poseidon and information on it would be located in Fishman Island. So that's Roger's next destination. We know that he wants to get the rest of the road Poneglyphs. He learns that from Nekomamushi and Inuyarashi that there is one in Zou, and potentially that there is one in Wano. The translation here is a little wonky, still waiting on the official, but he's at least told about the one in Zou. Unfortunately, we don't get to see Roger infiltrating Whole Cake Island and stealing the rubbin from Linlin, but we are told that it has already happened, and that he was gifted one from Whitebeard. We're treated with a nice little montage to the tune of Bink Sake, which does not imply anything about Brook. It's a famous pirate song, so they're just singing that. We do see what I believe is the bridge that is being built by the prisoners of Tequila Wolf, which is where Robin was sent following the Archipelago arc. However, geographically, I don't see how that's possible, because she was sent to the East Blue, and they're definitely in paradise. But I don't know. Who knows? We go to the archipelago. Oden is amazed by the amusement parks, and then we start our descent to Fishman Island, where we are treated to a newly appointed King Neptune. He has not married Odahime yet. He's not had any of his children, but his children are prophesized by a young Charlie, who you'll remember as Arlong's sister, who made the prophecy that Luffy will destroy Fishman Island, which is not a throwaway prophecy, and I believe wholeheartedly that at some point it will happen, but from the perspective of it's his only choice to save everybody, based on whoever he's fighting in Fishman Island stage of the game, whether it's Blackbeard or who knows. He will destroy Fishman Island to save everybody. They'll all fly up to the sea and riding the Noah, and that's a little headcanon that I have for all of that. We learned that Shirahoshi will not be born for another 10 years, which is much longer than Roger's got left to live. So he's not going to make it for that. He's too late. Or too early. Which, as we've learned throughout the series, was one of Roger's catchphrases. I was too early. And I think the community believes that the person who would prophesize most of this stuff for Roger was actually Lady Toki. But I'm inclined to believe that there's some off-screen stuff with Charlie that maybe we'll get later in the series. She tells us of the day of disaster, which is what she proclaims in Fishman Island regarding Luffy, will only occur after the Mermaid Princess is born. Following that, we're treated to another montage of islands. We see the island that rains lightning bolts, which one of our well-known supernova friends arrived at post-war. They find another Poneglyph. We don't know if it's red or not. They're hanging out at onsens, and we see that Momonosuke is there enjoying that as well, and he's a little bit older now. And then we're in Wano. We start one of two new diseases in this chapter. We learn that Toki has come down with some sort of an illness. Luckily, Crocus is there to get it early. But he decrees that she should stay in Wano. Neku, Mamashi, and Inuarashi stay behind to take care of her, also because she doesn't know anybody in Wano. She hasn't met any of the retainers, so it's good to have two familiar faces at least. We knew a couple of things going into this flashback as far as Raftel or Laftel, and that's that Toki, Momonosuke, Hiyori, Neku, Mamashi, Inuarashi, and Shanks and Buggy all never went there. So we're treated to the reasons of that. Toki came down with an illness, and Buggy came down with an illness, which Shanks stayed behind to stick with him, promising to go there later at some point with Buggy. I think it'll happen. The retainers have a tough time letting Odin leave again. They call him trash or a bum, which is a through-line joke that Roger then repeats, even though he's following it all through to, service his adventures and goals, personally his own as well. And Toki's a true ride or die, letting her man go and follow his dreams. But there's a sadness in Odin because he knows that the changes have already been put in place by Orochi. It's unknown if Kaido has already made his mark in Wano, but surely Orochi has started the factories. They go to Zou. They get the road poneglyph there. We meet the Duke that predated our favorite dog and cat. This guy is a bit of a sheep, and then we get little Pedro. A little continuation of the through line from Whole Cake Island that Pedro had met and was inspired by Roger. I love Pedro, so I particularly like this part of the chapter. And then it happens, guys. Roger makes it. He becomes the Pirate King in true iconic fashion. I love the panels of Odin just writing in his journey as we see Roger walking towards a blank area, which is obviously the Oda trying to obscure everything in Raftel for us. But we learned that they found out about the Void history, the entire history, the Will of D, the ancient weapons. They put it all together. What did it all mean to Joy Boy? Because it was actually Joy Boy's treasure all along, attached with a story which made them all laugh, leading Roger to then name this unnamed island Laugh Tale, which is a much better way to explain that name than they did in Stampede. But still got some love for Stampede. What do I think Roger learned? I think he learned he was too early. The same way that Joy Boy was too early. And I think that Roger relished in the fact that he wasted his time. Well, not so much that he wasted his time. He had a great journey, but that the goal that he wanted to accomplish would be accomplished by another man. This is technically the first chapter of 2020, and it hits off with a bang. I truly believe that we'll be going back to Wano in the next episode, the next chapter, I mean, following the last days of Tsukiyoden. I think we've got maybe 2 to 3 more chapters of this, probably getting back to the Straw Hats after or on 970, if I had to take a guess. But wow, this is some crazy stuff. I've got some more videos coming out. I'm going to do I've already recorded a theory video on SWORD, the secret organization, and its members, based on a Reddit post that I made that went viral. So I'll be putting that out soon, so keep an eye out for that. If you like this, subscribe or like it. Leave a comment below, what you thought about the chapter, any theories that you have, and I'll see you next time. I've been Randy Troy.